Welcome back. In this module, we will be looking at some of the theory of algebra. We're going to begin this module with some definitions of terms that you need to know to be able to understand algebra and also to talk about it effectively. If you are planning to go on to college or vocational school, you will need to know the terms that you are about to see here. So let's get started. We're looking at the theory section again, and I'm going to scroll over to this first page and title it Algebra Terms. So we're going to learn a lot of words and their definitions. So algebra terms, you could also call it algebra vocabulary. And the first term that we need to know is the word variable. And this word is used a lot in a lot of different contexts. It's not just an algebra word. You hear it in everyday life, lots of scenarios. But for algebra, a variable is a letter that stands for an unknown number. The purpose of algebra is to find the unknown number. It's to figure out what the unknown number is. So in algebra, a variable is a letter that stands for an unknown number. You also need to know that variable comes from the word vary. And vary means to change. And I want to point out here that I am not following the proper rules of grammar. I'm not making sentences, I'm just making notes because I don't want these videos to be terribly long. So I know that I am not using proper grammar structure. I apologize for that, but I just want to make the terms clear. That's my purpose in doing this video. Okay, let me show you an example of this variance, how things change from problem to problem. So I'm going to draw a box, and I'm going to give you this problem to figure out. Some unknown number plus 3 is 5. Now this one, you and I can figure out in our heads, because if we need a total of 5, you can look at your hand and figure this one out. Hold up your hand with 4 fingers and a thumb, so there's 5 digits. Take 3 of them away, and you have 2 left. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So what if I make a copy of this, and then I'm going to make a slight change right here. Instead of the 5, I'm going to use an 8. So is the unknown still true? We know over here that the unknown was the number 2. Is that still true in this equation? And no, it is not, because the problem changed. The problem varied. So this unknown is going to vary as well. To make this problem true, we need a value of 5 in the unknown square. 5 plus 3 equals 8. So in this problem, the unknown was 5. So do you see how your unknown changes depending on the other numbers in the problem? So consider this one with me, please. Let's use the letter x. And let's say that x plus 2 equals 4. This is the same concept that we were using before. I can put a box there for the x. Plus 2 equals 4. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So if this is the x, this means that x is worth 2 in this problem. Okay, what about this one? Let's do a subtraction one. Let's say x minus 3 equals 2. So this time, I'm using a box, the unknown box, for x. And mentally, I can figure out that this must be a 5. 5 take away 3 would give me 2. So in this case, the x is a 5. So you see that x varies according to the problem I put it in. I could also have used, instead of x, I could use an a there. It doesn't matter which letter you use. The variable is just a placeholder like that box is. So that is the concept of variability. It changes from problem to problem depending on the story. Couple of things here. We will learn to solve these without this little box. You can't go around through your math careers drawing those boxes. That is not a practical thing. It works okay when the problems are this small and this simple, but when you get to some of the problems at the end of this course, the box will not work. Or it would work, but it would not be the easier way to do these. So eventually we will not be drawing boxes. I am just showing you the picture. I'm sorry, I hit the wall there. I'm showing you the picture that goes along with this concept. That's all I'm doing here. So don't think that we're going to be drawing boxes all the time. Okay. So if letters are variable, let's look at the next term. Let me zoom in right here. What is a constant? A constant is a number all by itself. Its value does not vary. So it's sort of, in a way, the opposite of a variable. A constant is a set value that does not change. And to illustrate this one, I can't draw those boxes because those indicate variance, that things change from problem to problem. So on this one, I want to show you a different kind of example. I want you to draw a number line. And I left those nice dots in there for you so that you can draw straight lines. That's very important in math, to be accurate. Things need to be straight and they need to be accurately drawn. Okay, let's put 0 on this number line. So let's say that that's the 0 point. And let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tick marks in the positive direction. So I'm going to change colors so that you can see this point is positive 5. That's constant. That's not going to change. It doesn't matter what the story is that I make up. If it's that many spaces away from that 0 to the right, it is 5. It's constant 5. Okay, let's drop below 0. So we're into the negative range. And let's go all the way over here to this point. Okay, so let me put a dot there just so we can identify the placeholder. And so let's figure out what that point is. So if I start here at 0, 0 is neither positive nor negative, and I begin counting. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this constant place is negative 9. I do want to show you that these arrows mean infinity. So if I allowed, and I had enough computer screen to draw that arrow to the right, it would go on forever. And the same this way. It would go to negative infinity. And the word that I'm saying is infinity. It's infinite. Infinite. Infinity. Okay, and it never ends. But these points are constant. They are exactly on those spots. They will not vary. They will stay the same throughout your problem. So a couple of things here that you really need to know down here at the bottom. Variables and constants are opposites we're just going to leave it there in a mathematical way. They are opposites. Constants do not change. Variables change. Okay. So there are 2 of your terms that you need to learn. Let me put boxes around those for you. Variable and constant. And I'm going to stop this video. I don't want these to get terribly long, and we'll pick up with the next term in the next video. So I'll see you soon.